This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 289 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. This tip is brought to you by FeedXL. Visit them at feedxl.com. Hi, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. It's great to have you here, and we appreciate you listening to this show and all the others on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com. Well, today we have with you what's going to be a house guest of ours here in Lexington in a very short couple of weeks, and that's Michelle Bergeron. She's our Louisiana friend from down there in Cajun country in the bayou of Louisiana, and she runs a center, an equestrian center down there by the name of Right Lead Equestrian Center, and she is great at providing tips. She's a teacher and a coach, and she rides competitively, and we just enjoy having them around, her and her husband, who's a great, fantastic Cajun cook, and we're looking forward to having his food when they come up here to join us for the World Equestrian Games for a week. We're looking forward to having you both, and I know she listens to this show, so shout out there, Michelle, and we are looking forward to having you both up here. And we're going to get to one of your tips here very shortly, but I know that Michelle also cares deeply about her horses and their health and what they're fed. I highly recommend you hop on over to feedxl.com. You've heard me talking about it, but have you done it yet? Have you taken a look at FeedXL? Have you put in the information about your horse, and have you checked out whether your horse is getting the nutritional requirements that he needs? You can stop over to FeedXL. It's like having your own personal equine nutritionist. FeedXL is so good that it's used by leading equine nutritionists to formulate balanced diets for their clients. It just takes a couple minutes to punch in the information about your horse and what you feed him, and amazingly enough, very quickly, you will get charts and graphs and all kinds of results that'll be displayed in numerous ways, and it will tell you whether your horse has some excesses in its diet or some deficiencies in his diet. With over 2,000 to 500 feeds, including pastures, grains, mixed and prepared feeds and supplements, to tell you what your horse currently eats and how much of it he eats, it will go over all the results that you will need to determine whether you need to cut back here or add there. So stop over to feedxl.com for your horse's sake, for your horse's health. Plug in the information, check it out, and I think you'll be going back again and again for all of your horses at feedxl.com. And now Michelle Bergeron. All right, this is tip number 3, Michelle Bergeron for Horse Tip Daily. Well, hi, Michelle, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily.
Hey, Glenn. I'm glad to be here.
It's always fun to have you on and talk a little Southern talk, a little Cajun talk, actually, from Southern Louisiana, where your Right Lead Equestrian Center is located.
That's right.
Down there, eventing away and doing some competitive trail riding. You're the one that turned us on to that, and we did a show a while back on Stable Scoop about that, which was one of my favorite shows, actually. So
good. So it was fun to go. I had never been before, so if it looks interesting, we go, and that looked interesting, so we went.
What are the obstacles like in a competitive trail ride? Now we should tell everybody a competitive, and that's not our tip for the day, but who cares? So competitive trail ride is like 6 or 7 miles of trail riding, but the only thing you're judged on and timed on is the obstacles that you come across about every mile.
Right.
So what would an obstacle entail?
Well, it depends on the ride. The mother organization for the competitive trail riding, on their webpage, they have a whole list of obstacles that are a possibility that you could see out on your competitive trail. And then they have a video demonstration of what's correct and what's incorrect. When I judged the last one, I had the mount, so everybody had to get off their horse and then cross the timer, and they could use either a log or a mounting block and get on their horse and then leave through the other timer. They had trot poles. They had a little log to jump. They had a little natural water crossing. they had to go up a little bit of they called it the ravine, but certainly in this part of the world we don't have ravines.
No, I was going to say, you
no,
pretty much have flat.
Pretty much. So I think it was probably some sort of an incline. You can walk over a tarp. You can.
So these are not real tough stuff here.
Oh, no, and they have different levels. Okay. You know, if you just want to go out and ride, sort of not to be judged, ride HC, maybe you're chaperoning somebody. They have that, and they have open. And, you know, usually your time requirements for your open division are going to be a little bit shorter than maybe for your pleasure division.
Well, and this is really meant to go out and have a good time with your friends and make new friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It was a lot of fun, and we look forward to going again. It's great to get our horses out and exposed to new and different things.
Well, that's great, and you know that's even true of your competition horses, your sport horses. You know, they need a brain break every once in a while, and these competitive trail rides sound like a perfect thing, and they're becoming very popular.
Well, we had all sorts of people at ours. There were dressage riders. We had a vaulter. She wanted to just jump on from the ground, which was not in the rules.
Which she could have done without any trouble at all.
I know. I was surprised to see her with any tack. Some older people, some young children. They had a dog show. It was just an entire day of fun.
All different flavors of horse, too.
Oh, my goodness. We had Tennessee walking horses, and there was a Peruvian horse, and just horses that were just kind of nondescript. There was everything, absolutely everything.
Huh. Well, that's great.
I recommend it.
Well, all right. Well, we're here to do a tip, and the tip. Well, one of the we can give our first tip. Go to a competitive trail ride sometime. Right. You'll have a blast.
Two-tip show today.
Yes, that's right. You get a bonus tip here.
That's right. Well, this one actually kind of goes along with it. So maybe you're going to the competitive trail ride, and this time of year, we got to be thinking about sunscreen. So you get yourself all sunscreened up, and off you go. Well, what if your horse has a big white face? He's got a white nose. Maybe he's a paint horse. He's got a big white spot on his tail. He's got a white tail. Your horse needs some sunscreen, too. You know, most of us have seen horses that come in from the field and their face is blistered and it's cracked and it's bleeding, and then you want them to stick their head in their bucket and eat. Well, think about how you feel when you have a sunburn. You don't want anything to touch it. You don't want any air on it. You just want it to go away. So let's not let our horses get to that point. So we need some equine sunscreen. Human sunscreens really are not formulated for your animals. I know a lot of people have used it. I've used it myself. But they can lick it off, they can rub it off. It's just not made to be put on an animal. There are a lot of places that do offer it. The EpiPet Sun Protect, we're going to have to do this one again. EpiPet Sun Protector Pet Sunscreen.
Okay.
This one you can
it's easy for you to say.
Yeah. And I practiced that one too. You can use this one on your dog. Maybe you have a dog with real thin skin, real thin hair and light skin, or you can use this on your horse. Comes in a spray bottle. Very good. Also, My Pony Sunblock, and their webpage is easy, myponysunblock.com. And you can put this on pigs, horses, dogs. Anything comes in a little jar and a little powder, and you powder it on. It's going to keep your horses from getting sunburned and unhappy. So don't forget about your horse, and if you're taking your dog, don't forget about your dog. They might need some sunscreen too.
Well, that's terrific. And, you know, I got very distracted. We were talking about your husband and how good a cook he is. Mm-hmm. And I was on your website at rightlead.com, and he has a recipe section on the website, and I got stuck at the pork and sausage jambalaya.
Oh, you want that when we come to WAG?
Yeah, that's what I want when you come to WAG, because
really
that
good.
Looks good. He's got bread pudding really on here.
He loves to make that.
Turkey andouille. Andouille sausage gumbo. Oh, my gosh.
That's really good, too.
Because andouille sausage is just great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that looks good, too. I tell him we want one of each, please.
One of each. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't I sell his tickets back and we'll just leave him to cook.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll go.
Yeah, you
I'll
don't need
go to
him
the
along
show.
whining anyway.
No. He'd be bored anyway. So we'll
Sure.
let him cook, and I'm going to WEG.
There we go. Well, there are some great recipes on here, and you can find those at rightlead.com. And there's a little bit about your farm too.
Just a little bit.
It's a nice website.
Yeah. And actually, if you want more recipes, if you email Ricky, he'd be happy to send you more recipes.
You know,
if you have a problem when you're making the gumbo, send him an email. He'd be happy to talk you through it.
You know, it's interesting because we both like to cook. We're true horse husbands, and I like to cook too. So, but I never thought about putting recipes on my website, so I'll have to think about that.
Never in a million years. He takes care of all the website stuff.
Well, it's a fantastic website too.
Well, thank you. I will tell him that.
Yeah, definitely.
I just am in the pictures.
He's a good horse husband.
He is. You know what he says, that when we decided to get married and he was going to be a groom for a day, he did not realize that actually he was going to end up being a groom for life.
Yes. A horse groom.
And he's very good at it.
There's a difference, yeah.
He's not so much into it every day, but if we go to a show, he is in the stall, he is tacking up, he's brushing and primping and fluffing, and he's right there. So he's actually very, very, very handy.
Well, and you heard he did actually the Horse Husbands episode this year with us for Stable Scoop, and you heard the real reason why he goes to horse shows is the same reason all horse husbands go to horse shows, right? I mean, you're not buying all that to help you out thing, are you?
No.
Okay.
And in fact, he told me, had he any idea when he was in high school that a sport existed where there were a bunch of girls running around in tight pants, that he would have been there instead of on the baseball field.
And I see these pony clubs all across the country that have one guy and like 50 women, 50 girls, and the girls are all over this guy. If I had only known. There are certain things that we could relive in life.
That might be one of them. It's the same at the rallies here. There's usually one, maybe two boys, and
they don't even have to be good looking or anything.
No,
they're just going to get swarmed by girls. Jeez, I know. We learn too late in life, don't we?
Oh, well.
Well, this show has been full of tips. It's not been one tip or two tips. It's actually been many tips. And now I'm going to give you the last tip of the day is go to rightlead.com, scroll down the recipe page, and you will find Rick's favorite turkey and andouille gumbo. So check that out and let me know how you liked it. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle. We appreciate you being on.
Welcome. Thanks, Glenn.
Well, that was fun, and my wife and I certainly cannot wait to eat the food that Michelle's husband will be cooking up for us when they head on up here to stay with us for the World Equestrian Games, which, of course, are in a few short weeks. Can't believe it. When we first moved to Lexington a couple of years ago, and when I first started the 2010 radio show, the World Equestrian Games radio show, the clock downtown said 892 days or 72 days, something like that. And now, look where we are. We're 15 days away from the World Equestrian Games. And, of course, we will be continuing Horse Tip Daily throughout the World Equestrian Games. I'm just going to be doing them ahead and putting them in the can because I'll be over at the World Equestrian Games for about 18 hours every day. And we're hoping that we survive it all. But, of course, as I've mentioned in past episodes, you can find all the coverage of the World Equestrian Games right here at horseradionetwork.com. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and another horse tip. I can't guarantee we'll be talking about delicious gumbo, though. We'll have to wait and see. Have a great ride, everybody.